Right then, guys, so this is the second part. Hopefully, this one will be a lot shorter than the last one, but don't build them hopes up, because knowing me, I can talk, not just for England, but I can talk for America these days too. So, but I'll try and do it as quick as I can. So the first one up is Fable II. A great game in its own right, but as you can see, it annoys me because this one doesn't come with the slipcover like Battlefield, Bad Company and Bioshock have, amongst others. Now, when I bought this on eBay, I think it was only about $10, $12, which isn't a lot of money, but it's not the point when you bid on something that says it's complete when it clearly isn't. So like I say, that's the game. It's in the official case. This is kind of the official cover, but there's a slipcase over the top of it, which makes it look like a proper 360 game, you know, with the Xbox at the top and all that kind of stuff. So this kind of, for me, cheapens the collection a little bit, much like Platinum Hits, and I just felt it was really devious. Now, to be fair, I did contact the seller, and I said, come on, man, you know, I paid like $12 or whatever it was for this. It's not complete, like you said. And he or she got back to me, and they just said, well, just send it back, and I'll give you a refund. And you know, with work and what have you, I just didn't really have the time, and I just kind of turned a bit of a blind eye to it. I just couldn't, I guess, ultimately be bothered to send it back, which is probably my fault there. But it just kind of annoyed me. You've got to be careful, obviously, when buying things on eBay. So not just did it not come with its slipcover, it also didn't come with instructions. There's the two CDs there. One of them, I guess this is the bonus CD with, as you can you see the price on there? I guess you can't. No, you can't because it's not on there. That's probably why. But yeah, with that yellow thing is a GameStop thing, so that's clearly where they got that from. Not that it matters. But yes, yeah, so I'm a bit disappointed by that. Now, going on eBay, I guess, and finding just a slipcover is possibly not really going to happen. So, you know, if and when I buy this again, it'll have to be, I guess, the full version, then I'll just get rid of this one. So that is that. Okay, so next up, we have Fallout 3. Now, every now and again, a game will come out and it, you know, gets rave reviews, critically acclaimed, but for whatever reason, you know, I don't get around to playing it. And this is one which I haven't got around to playing yet. Now, obviously, it's meant to be fantastic, and I will get into it eventually. There's been a stack of DLC released for it, but I just haven't got around to playing it yet. It does look good, and obviously the sequel's out now, which looks even better. But I really want to try and stick to, you know, playing a game and then buying a sequel, rather than just jumping in there, missing this one out altogether, and getting the latest one. So I'm going to get into it soon, but I've just not had the chance yet. Excuse me. Okay, so the next one up. Oh man alive, where do I start with this bad boy? Far Cry 2. Now, when this was first, probably the first. Actually, let me see. When was it? It was just before. No, it wasn't. Let me start again. I know when it was. It was around about the time of Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 2 was already out and had been out for quite a while, and I did love it. You know, it is my favourite modern Call of Duty game. But I was starting to get a little bit bored of it. You know, that's all I was doing was playing pretty much Call of Duty on the Xbox. Wasn't really playing anything else. And I saw either online or maybe friends told me about it, whatever. But I heard of this game called Far Cry, and you've got to, you know, design your own maps and all the rest of it. And I thought, this is it. This is the one to beat Call of Duty. And it came out, and it was rubbish. I mean, the map editor in the game is fantastic if you can be bothered to put the time and effort into it. But it's just not very rewarding at all because, I don't think you could have, well, I know you couldn't have, like, bots, or at least I don't think, actually, you could have bots going around the screen. So the only way to test out your map was ultimately to take it online. But if you're going to take it onto a game online where there's not really a lot of people playing it anyway, bit of a wasted opportunity. Single-player game, I found, again, a little bit shoddy, a few bugs. It's not awful, but maybe it's my fault for just expecting some real amazing game, and by the time it finally did come out, it just really, really disappointed me. But and funny enough, this one's still sealed. I don't know if you can work that one out. I picked up really cheap sealed, so yeah. I will open it, obviously, eventually, and I will get back into it. But I'm just really disappointed because the map editor is amazing. It's just a shame that the actual game engine is pretty average, to say the least. Next one up, one of my favourites, Platinum Hits. I was joking, not really my favourite. I hate them. With the grey case, oh god, it just, for me, these kind of games just cheapen a collection. And why do they even release a Platinum Hits when they just release the same game? Surely it's going to cost them more money with the new designs and all that kind of stuff and separate cases. It's almost like as if gaming there's like a class system in gaming. You know, so someone else can mock another person. Oh, I paid full price. You've got the cheap version. I don't know. Obviously, that's not the reason why, but it's almost like that. Why do they have platinum hits? I don't understand. So I hate the design of them. I think it looks terrible, and but this came as part of a bundle, and that's the reason why I've got this. Obviously, it will be replaced eventually, but this is Fight Night Round 3, and it's got a pretty cool control system to it, but one which is pretty steep learning curve at that, and as a result, it did put me off a little bit. So I never really got into that. I might get into future ones. Forza 2, or Forza Motorsport 2, fantastic racing game. There was a spell where I was quite addicted to this, and yeah, I'd play it online with some friends and my cousin and a stack of other people, stack of randoms, I guess. And yeah, fantastic racing game. I guess at the time, the only other one was Gran Turismo on the PS3, or Prologue, Gran Turismo Prologue. So that is that. Very good game. And obviously since then, we have had its sequel, Forza 3. Now, I bought this brand new for like $60 odd. I'm not saying it's not worth it, because it probably is. But what disappointed me was the fact, and it's not a criticism of the game, it's just more of me, I just didn't play it. I probably played it for less than an hour. And, you know, paying $60 for something like that, not just the fact that I paid $60, but it is a fantastic game, and to have just played it for an hour is pretty criminal. But a very good game. Now, Fracture, one which I haven't played. Haven't played this, it's still sealed, don't know a great deal about it, but obviously, as I will with all of them, I'll get into them all at some stage. One which I just didn't really like, a bit of a cheap and cheerful 360 game. You know, you can probably pick it up for like $5, probably even less. And that's Frontline's Fuel of War. So, you know, just a bit of a standard cheapo kind of first-person shooter. Yeah, pretty unspectacular to say the least. Next one up is a limited edition, missing the slipcase, so obviously this will have to be replaced in the future. But this is a limited edition version of Gears of War, so you get all your little extras here, disc and whatever else, the art book. All very nice, and a fantastic game. There's not really a lot I can say about Gears of War which hasn't already been said, but like I say, I like the steel tin case. Looks very nice. And then here we have just a standard version, if I can put it up to the camera properly. The standard version of Gears of War. And then we have Gears of War 2, the sequel, which is much improved, and it's an excellent game. I really like the addition, like the Horde element, the waves of Horde that you've got to fight off. That was kind of cool. And relatively a unique idea, I think, because I'm pretty convinced that was before the whole Call of Duty Nazi zombie things, or maybe that was before, I'm not sure. But either way, I like that. Next up is a pretty underrated racing game called Grid. Spent a lot of time on this. Haven't played it for a long, long time. Probably the best part of a year, really. But I thoroughly enjoyed it every single time I've played it. And I'm really looking forward to getting back into it. You know, I do like my races. And it's a good game. It looks really good. I don't know if you can see that on the back. Again, we're on YouTube, so you can just like type it in seconds and see a gameplay video of it. But it's an excellent game, and I thoroughly recommend it. Especially at the price it's going for. Because it's been out a while, you'll pick it up really cheap. Speaking of cheap, here's another one you'll get for just a few quid or a few dollars. I think mine was about $8, whenever it was, sometime earlier on this year. It's fun, it's a laugh, it's nothing amazing, it's pretty easy. I think I put it on the hardest difficulty setting, and I was blitzing through it, and as a result it kind of put me off, and I haven't gone back to it since. But it's a laugh. If you like the movies, you're basically going to like that. So good fun, but nothing to write home about. Next one up is Grand Theft Auto 4. A fantastic game, but maybe too polished, which probably sounds a bit of a silly criticism to give a game. Maybe too much attention to detail. And for me, it's not as fun as like San Andreas, and probably because they made this slightly more, in inverted commas, realistic. You know, you couldn't really do the insane jumps and the silly little things that you could on bikes, like from San Andreas, like I say. And that, for me, the minute they became a little bit more serious is when the fun kind of came out of it. It's still a great game. I think the 10s, you know, 10 out of 10 it was receiving in magazines, it was a little bit silly. But in saying that, you know, I'm not saying it's like a 7 or an 8, it's probably a 9. But for me, like I keep saying, it lost a lot of the fun factor that San Andreas in particular had. But it's still a fantastic game, and thoroughly recommended. Next up, we've got a spate of Guitar Hero games. First one up, and I can quickly breeze through these, Guitar Hero 2. Next up, we have Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock. This is the first one I got into. I played it at a friend's house. In fact, there's a few friends. They all owned or rented an apartment, really nice apartment, down in Poole, near Bournemouth, in the south coast of England, for anyone who knows that. Yeah, really nice apartment they had, and I just used to go around the house, and this is one of the games we'd play. And I just became really addicted to it. You know, songs such as, what's that, is it Eric Johnson? Probably got that completely wrong. But yeah, I loved playing that song. That was a laugh. And not all the songs. I mean, you're always going to get some songs which or a lot of songs which you just do not like. But generally speaking, it's had a lot of cool songs on there. But obviously some dross as well. But a good game. And very, very cheap. But thoroughly recommended. Next one up is Guitar Hero World Tour. Again, fun, just a laugh. They're all the same, these kind of games. You know what you're going to get when you get a Guitar Hero game. Nothing particularly new, but just a stack of new songs. And in some cases, which is really disappointing, they just basically put some of the same songs from the old games onto the new ones. I guess maybe not so much Guitar Hero, but Rock Band kind of do that. And you've got two different products, and you just think, why don't you just put new songs on there? Stop ripping people off. But anyway, so that's a good game. That's a laugh. And I think this had... what DLC did I download for this? Probably a lot. But things like Oasis and Duran Duran. That's two cool bands. Come on. Well, I think they are. So that was nice to play their stuff. Next one up is Guitar Hero 5. Now, I've got this in the big box, not with the drum set, but with the guitar. But, you know, I'm not going to show it in this video, but just picture the big box with the guitar in. So that was that one, and it was really cheap, actually. I think it was $30 off some website where they were getting rid of excess stock. And that was only about, you know, a month or two after it had come out. So I was looking on Amazon, it was still like $60, $70, and I got it for like $25, $30. It was crazy. Next up, Guitar Hero Aerosmith. I'm not an Aerosmith fan, I've got to be honest. They've probably got maybe 4 or 5, you know, half a dozen tracks that I do like. I guess it's pretty impossible for a band to be around for 30, 40 years and not to like any of their songs. That would be pretty shocking. But they're not one that I particularly like. I just think they're just not really my thing. But yeah, it's alright. And so as a result, I've not played the game, and I don't really have any intention to. But, you know, just for the purpose of trying it out, you know, I will eventually. And also, funnily enough, I believe there's some other songs, other artists on that, which seems a bit weird. Why would you call it Guitar Hero Aerosmith? You have other artists. But anyway, next one up is Gun. Now, this one is still sealed. Not intentionally, just haven't got around to replaying it again. Used to love it when it came out, but it since has been absolutely trounced in terms of graphics, most notably graphics, playability, and yeah, it's just really showing its age now. I think it was one of the first 360 games. You know, what was it? Let's have a look on the back. 2006, I imagine. 2005. Wow. Yeah, it's 2005. So older than what I thought. But it's still a good game. In saying that, I've not played it for a year. But I know when I did play it a year ago, I kind of enjoyed it. But I did notice how badly it had aged, in my opinion. But of course, games aren't all about how a game looks, because we're all kind of retro game fans as well. It's all about the playability, and it still plays a good game, so it's still recommended. Funnily enough, the last thing I'll say about this game for now is that it still goes for a fair bit of money. Now, I'm not talking something silly like, you know, $20, $30, $40, but you're kind of looking at $10, $15. I mean, now and again, one might sell for like $7 or $8, but, you know, sometimes I regularly see it go for the $10, $15, $16, which, when you think of it, is pretty unusual for a modern-day game to go for that amount when it's so old, because usually the older games are really cheap. So that's possibly one to keep an eye on in the future. Possibly, because if you know, 5 years on, it's kind of going for $15, just makes you wonder how much it might go for. I'm not saying it's going to be rare. It's very hard to find a rare game, I imagine, for PS3s and 360s, because they're so overproduced, it's ridiculous. But you never know. Next one up, nothing to say about this, no interest in playing it. Hail to the Chimp. I think it was like $3. So, yeah, least said about that, the better. Now we get on to a pretty special game, Halo Reach. I love this game. When it first came out, I didn't do a gameplay video of it, but I think it was just on a pickups video. And, you know, I proclaimed to the world it was amazing. I think I used the word amazing like 5 times. And maybe in hindsight that was a little bit, you know, generous. It's excellent. Or maybe it is amazing, but not to keep saying it constantly. Now, when it first came out, I did play it a lot, and I really liked it. And then Black Ops came out, and I obviously started playing Black Ops a lot, and until I got bored of that. And then the last sort of few weeks, well, maybe not the last week, but going back 2 or 3 weeks, I started to get back into this again, and it coincided with a new map pack which has just been released again a couple of weeks ago. So it's enticed me to go back to it, and I'm really enjoying it again. It's a fantastic game. If you like Halo 3, it's basically that, but a lot better, with the inclusion of things like jetpacks and what have you. And the theatre mode is there as well, like it was in Halo 3, and I love that. It's an amazing part of the game, which has also now been included in Black Ops. So I think all games should have it, quite frankly, but there you go. Next one up is Halo Wars. This is the one in the tin. As you can see, it's a pretty sturdy beast. So like another steel-cased tin here. Not really got around to playing this. I played a demo of it maybe about 2 years ago, and I relatively enjoyed it. You know, thinking of the likes of Command and Conquer, it's that kind of thing. But I just not really got into it. But I'm a big Halo fan, and I'm looking forward to giving that a crack. And that was really cheap. I think it was only about $12, which is absolutely ridiculous. It does have a little bit of a crack on there, which isn't great. But at $12, you can't complain, because if I was to put that on eBay tomorrow, I think I'd easily get 18, 20. But I'm not going to sell it. Kane and Lynch. I did a pickups video yesterday, and this was on there. So not really anything new to say about this. I still haven't played it, or played it since the initial time I played it, going back 3 or 4 years. But I'm looking forward to giving it a crack. And actually, I noticed off the top of my head, sorry, I can't remember who it was, but someone left a comment yesterday on my video, and they said that they really liked this. So if you're watching this, mate, I take your word for it, and I'm going to give it a crack, and I'll see what I think of it a few years on. I'm going into it with a bit of an open mind, so hopefully I might like it. So this one is the King of Fighters 13, I think this. A beat-em-up. Like I say, I like my beat-em-ups, and this is, by all accounts, a very good game. Probably most notorious, I guess, or more renowned for the Neo Geo King of Fighters. But obviously it's been ported to PS2, 360, probably PS3 as well. But yeah, a pretty decent game. Not my favourite kind of brand, the King of Fighters, you know, but I don't mind it. Left 4 Dead. This is the Game of the Year edition, so I guess it's just got all that, again, the DLC on. Now, I love the cover. Not so much with the fingers, that's pretty gruesome, but I mean the green, it's kind of really kind of neon-y. It just looks really nice, which is kind of a bizarre thing to say, but yeah, I like that. Not really played it that much. When it first came out, or when I first picked it up at least, I was into it, because as I usually do, I'm always looking for an alternative to like a Call of Duty. You know, something that's sticking to the first-person genre theme, but it's something a little bit different. And this did offer that. It's fun, it's a laugh. Going online is great, and some people even say this is better than the sequel. I can't vouch for that myself, because I haven't yet got the sequel, so I'll have more of a formulated opinion when I do get it. But for now, I can only say that this is good, and yeah, I recommend picking it up. A couple of games, or 3 games to go through pretty briefly here. First one is Madden 07, which is a very good game if you like your American football. I've pretty much completed this. I think there's 2 achievements I need, and I've done the whole lot. But, yeah. Excuse me. Okay, and then the next 2, I am not a baseball fan at all. So I've got 2K Sports, Major League Baseball 2K8, and 2K9. You know, again, they just came as part of a bundle, and that's that. Nothing to say. If you like baseball, good for you. I don't. You know, but there you go. And last for this particular video is Mass Effect. Now I know this is criminal, much like Fallout 3, but I've not even had the chance to play this yet, which is ridiculous. I've got the sequel, and I've not even played that. I know I'm going to have to change my ways, but apparently it's meant to be an absolutely fantastic game. I sometimes look at my friends list on the Xbox, and people have got a lot of achievements for this, and it just makes me think that it's obviously a good game and I should get into it. So I will, I just haven't yet. So there we are, guys. That's the second shell completed. Probably another close to 20 minutes. So yeah, this is much longer than what I thought, I've got to be honest. But thanks for watching, and see me in a bit, or join me in a bit. See me in a bit. Sounds like, I'm telling you off at school. See me in a bit. See me after school. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part. See you later.